Scott here from Alcohol and Anime Night, and I just got a big delivery in the mail. Let's put together this Arcade1Up Big Blue cabinet.
The assembly on this Big Blue cabinet is pretty straightforward. There are a few amendments on the instructions that you'll need to take note of ahead of time, as this has several things that were added after the original version, such as the light up deck, which is an LED function they don't really mention in the description of the product. And of course there's a clear deck protector that is part of that. There's also a few places where you have to read between the lines. Just take your time. You don't want to have to redo it, and take your time with the screws, don't over torque them. I would have to say it took me about 2 hours to complete, and that was by myself, other than having my wife step in a couple of times to hold a flashlight. If you had somebody to hold stuff or to be doing another step while you're doing it, you could probably make that time go by a little bit faster, but I wasn't trying to rush. So overall, really happy. This particular one came with the stool as well, so a really nice, usually I think they're about $80 or $90 just for the stool by itself, and the marquee lights up, and there's a riser as well that's included. This isn't the deluxe version where it basically doesn't need the riser, but I will say I actually prefer this in some ways because it's a little bit wider at the bottom, which maybe gives it a little bit more stability. Either way, it was worth it for the price. The one thing I did add before I even got this is I ordered some screw cap covers that are the same color, or at least fairly close, and that really ties the whole thing together. I don't know if I have a good picture of it, but otherwise it just looks like you've got something with a bunch of white holes drilled in the side of it. And so if you can get those, I want to say they're like $4 to $7 on eBay. Totally worth it. Really cleans the whole thing up, makes it not look like a piece of IKEA furniture. So I also noticed that, of course, this has Wi-Fi, so you can play the games online if you wish. It also has a mini SD and USB on the control board for the entire unit. I don't believe some of the older ones did, and what that does, it opens up a future for possibly adding more games and modifying the software. You can use the mini SD to essentially expand the memory. It really opens up the world of modification for this. It comes with a ton of games. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. Some of the games included are my favorite series of games, Darkstalkers. There's two basically wrestling games. There is a side-scrolling bullet hell type shooter called Eco Fighters, which is pretty funny and fun. There is a beat-em-up style game called Knights of the Round that is pretty cool. And there's also, which have been big favorites here so far, the Puzzle Fighter 2. I think it's called Super Puzzle Fighter 2. And it's a kind of a Dr. Mario-like game. However, it uses the Capcom characters. That's been very popular here. And the Capcom Sports Club, which was also very popular here, which has 3 games. It has a basketball game, it has a soccer game, and it has a tennis game. And which is funny, within the tennis game, if you choose the Chinese character, her name is Lily, and she has buns, much like Chun-Li, so it made us wonder whether that was Chun-Li's sister who decided to pursue tennis. Pretty good price on this. $3.99 with free shipping on a 100-pound item from Walmart.com. I'll leave the link below. They're not sponsored or anything. It was just a really good price for something we have had a ton of fun with. Definitely check out my review of the Darkstalkers anime on the Halloween episode. And of course, check out my unboxing of the Chun-Li figure right up here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you, and kanpai.